Welcome everybody to the top producer interview for Mortgage Mastermind Group. I'm implementation coach Paul Baxter, and I am here with my dear friend and person I've gotten to know very well over the years, Miss Peggy Wilson from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Peggy, how are you today?
I am fabulous.
Well, I am glad to hear it, and we kind of talked a little bit and did some chit-chat just moments ago. Peggy is a very humble person, but I'm going to tell you she is one of the most upbeat. She is one of the most passionate people about the mortgage business. When you talk about doing something that you truly love to do, Peggy's actually doing that. She really loves working with people and helping people with the dream of owning a home. It's fun for her. It's what she's passionate about, and that's one of the things that I admire most about you, Peggy.
I do have the best job in the world. I get to help people make their dreams come true.
And that mindset is what sets you apart from everybody else. It really is a very cool mindset to have for a mortgage lender. So I've got a series of questions. I've got a group of people hanging out waiting to hear a little bit about your mortgage business. So I'm going to fire some questions at you, and let's just have a conversation about your mortgage business. Is that cool?
And we'll just pretend we're sitting together.
I wish we were. You know, I enjoyed those times hanging out on the boat with you and cruising across Tampa Bay. It was fun.
And it's warmer where you are.
Today, not so much. Today, not so much. Okay. All right. Here we go. How long have you been in the mortgage business, and how did you get in? Now I know this story, but I think it's a benefit for everybody to kind of hear your story and how you got in the mortgage business.
Well, I am older than dirt. And at one point while I was still married, my husband and I built a house, and he said, you know, you should get your real estate license and go to work for the builder. So I did that, and I left the builder after a year, but I had a 3-year career in real estate, and then I moved to, as Paul says, to the dark side, the mortgage side of the table, and did that did closings and a little bit of processing, and just began the loan officer when I got pregnant and took 2 years off to have a baby. And the day before Thanksgiving, my husband lost his job. And a couple of days later, my former boss at the bank said, you know, I started this company and we need a loan officer. Rates are starting to come down out of the stratosphere. I think they were still like 16% or so.
Hello.
And that's when I became a commissioned loan officer in December of 1982. And I've been doing it ever since.
Ever since. And passionate about it still. Love doing what you're doing.
Well, I got kind of a hard start because it was pretty much one of those, there's a desk, there's a phone, go out and get loans, kid. We didn't use computers yet. Everything was by hand. We got into, I don't know, soon after I started, we got into a big refinance crush. And I had appointments 6 weeks in advance, and like 4 and 5 a day. I would have a stack of those pink things to call people back, and it's
Glengarry, Glen Ross leads.
Yeah.
Now, the current company that you're with now, how long have you been with them?
That's a funny story. The two owners of this company worked for me when I was a branch manager for a different company. I recruited them from the bank where they were. We each went our separate ways. They opened a company that's doing super cool. And back in 2008, I called one of them up and said, my underwriter's being crazy. Can I come play in your sandbox? That was over the weekend, and I started working here on Monday.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a large, small company. We just got our approval. We're selling directly to Fannie Mae now. We have our main office and 8 other branch offices across southeastern Michigan. We underwrite everything in-house except for 203Ks and reverse mortgages. And it's pretty, I love being here because we work as a team to figure out how to get a loan done.
Now, since you brought that up,
yeah.
What does your team look like? I mean, your branch specifically, not, the whole company, the Heron
Well,
Valley Financial, but your team or the office you work in.
my personal team is I share a loan assistant with one other loan officer, and it works kind of nice because he and I fill in for each other when we go out of town, and it's kind of nice because Cynthia knows both of our files.
Now, is that a 20 hours, 20 hours? Is it, you got her for the morning, I got her for the afternoon, or, hey, I need her now, you need her now?
She
all right.
tries to divide it fairly. Some days she'll get caught up in one of his self-employed people and spend a lot of the day on it, but a couple of days ago she spent most of the day working on a credit challenge client of mine.
Okay. And
So
who pays Cynthia?
the company does.
Okay.
So Jim and I earn her based on our production.
I gotcha.
So
Cynthia is earned.
Yeah.
And what kind of stuff does she do again? Just I don't mean to interrupt you. I know you were getting into that.
She does everything between me and the processor. She can pull credit. She can send the honey-do list to the clients. She can rough in the estimate. Just can't disclose. I call her my I dotter and T crosser. She sends perfect files to processing.
Okay. Is she licensed?
No.
Okay.
That's why
So
she's
she just can't do applications, basically.
Yes, she can't do applications and she can't disclose, but she can download website applications and pull the credit and rough in the numbers.
Sure, sure. And that's something you and your the teammate that you share her with have trained her to do to your liking?
Well, yes, she does it to my liking. Jim and I work differently. I have complete confidence in my team, so I'm more hands-off. I don't try to micromanage them.
Okay.
I say, here's the file, tell me when to show up at closing. Don't want to hear about it till then.
Love it. Love it.
So I can't be calling referral sources if I'm trying to micromanage my team.
Right. I can agree with that.
So then when Cynthia has it all perfect, she places all the orders too, by the way. Then she sends it to my processor, Kim, and Kim runs with it through submission and to closing.
How many loan officers does Kim process loans for?
Oh, I'm not sure, like 4 or 5, I think.
Okay.
But she has a mix of producers and not so much.
Okay.
We all know those.
Yeah, sure.
And then in addition, I have a girl that I pay myself that comes in as much as I need her, but right now it's 1 day a week for 5 or 6 hours, and she does all of what I call the drudge work. She's pretty much retired, but she has worked in real estate, mortgage, and mostly title insurance her entire life. She's not real computer adept.
Okay.
But she enters people into contacts. She puts them into my mortgage web success system.
So data entry?
Yeah. She has this list of tasks she does when we have a new file, and she closes out files.
So a task list, is a task list something that's computer stuff that happens, or files get put in a specific order and then closed?
Oh, she prints the letter that I'm going to send out.
Okay.
Early January
Gotcha.
with a copy of the HUD. She sends out post-application packages.
I gotcha. Perfect.
If I decide to do a snail mailing, she puts that together, like to clients.
Okay.
She puts that together.
So like you said, the drudge work, the things that are the $10 an hour work that absolutely is something that you need to be doing. It's got to get done, but not necessarily by you.
That is absolutely right. And you know what? She loves doing it.
And how much does that cost you for 6 hours a week? I mean, literally one day a week for about 6 to 8 hours, or however long you said. What's that cost you per week?
Most recently, it's been running $100 twice a month.
$100 twice a month, so $200 a month, $50 a week for 6. So that's less than $10 an hour.
Yeah. It's awesome.
I like that. I you know what? I used to talk to you differently about her. But I kind of like that situation. You know, one of the things that she could do for you is handwrite a whole bunch of notes. All you got to do is sign them.
Yeah,
Okay, so she's doing that already. Okay, okay.
Somebody I'm not close to, she sure as heck does.
Perfect. I love it. Okay.
The ones I'm close to, they know my handwriting.
Now, is that everybody in your team?
Wait a minute. I have to think about that for a second. There's something else she does.
You got your Cynthia, you got your Kimberly, and what is her name, by the way?
Her name is Debbie.
Debbie. Okay.
And one thing I really appreciate about her, she and I met in, I'm embarrassed to say, the late 70s when we were working in the same real estate office. So she knows me and loves me enough to tell me the truth. And in addition, because of her background in title insurance, she knows people. And so she'll just give it to me straight. I'll say, well, what about this that agent did? She says, give up and move on. You're never getting any business from them. So I like that. And then I recently hired my son to work part-time as a virtual assistant.
And what are some of the tasks he's doing for you?
He is doing all that cool stuff you teach us that I don't have time to do.
So doing some Facebook work and okay.
Of Martin tasks to do. And today he was working on implementing the Facebook strategy where you categorize people and then you can just look at your realtors.
Okay.
And interact with them and share.
So making lists on Facebook. We need to talk about that again because I think a lot of people forgot how to do that. It's really fantastic way to focus on the people that you really want to focus on.
Right.
Good stuff.
And he's also working on one of my business pages. I don't really like the way it looks, so he's working on a new one of those. I said, we could just hire it done at $5. He goes, I'll take that $5.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
So that is my team.
Okay. So one of the things I know you do as part of your business strategy is you're a member of the B&I group. Tell me, how long have you been a member of B&I, and talk to me about how that's impacted your business, negatively or positively.
I am the only charter member left of our group.
Okay.
Chartered in 1996, so I've been getting up early on Thursdays for a really long time. Some years I get probably a deal a month out of current or former B&I members. It's not quite that much right now, but it's all good.
Okay.
It's all good. I get enough to make it more than worthwhile.
And are there ways that you leverage the things that you're doing with B&I for referrals elsewhere? I mean, tell me, how are you utilizing B&I to your favor?
Well, I try to have a one-to-one per week, so a one-on-one meeting with one of the members where we strategize how we can increase each other's business.
Okay.
Tomorrow I am doing a road rally with 2 members, followed by a dinner with a whole big bunch of realtors.
Well, very cool.
For a charity event.
Okay.
That's kind of fun and business combined.
Well, one of the things, and I was trying to prompt you, one of the things I know that you've done, which I think is fantastic, is part of your B&I group there is a massage therapist, and you actually took her with you. You went and picked her up in your car and drove her over to an office of your favorite real estate agent, paid the massage therapist for a 30-minute massage for your real estate, a chair massage for your real estate agent. The real estate agent loved it.
Two of them.
Okay, two of them. And so the B&I partner got a referral. So now you've referred her. Now she's looking for ways to refer you. She's looking for people. She's actively thinking about how can I refer Peggy.
And
but at the same time, you've done something really special for that. Nobody else is bringing a massage therapist to their office.
It was so cool,
really
too,
special.
There were other people in the office. And
very cool.
You could see him going, hey, I want some of that. Because who doesn't like massage work? So she handed out some cards, and my two top agents, they were surprised and happy.
Very cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
It was great fun.
James is asking a good question that I didn't think of here. What occupation in your B&I group refers the most?
You know, you would think that would be the realtor, but the realtor in my office, or in my group, is primarily a listing agent. I have done deals with her, but she really mostly lists. She doesn't work with that many buyers. I've gotten deals from the financial planner, from the property and casualty insurance agent. I'm certainly his biggest referral source in B&I. The Verizon chick sends me people. I get referrals from all of them. I can't say that, and we have perceptions, and I wish you could see me because I'm totally talking with my hands.
Yeah, I'm closing my eyes and seeing you doing it.
We have perceptions about, oh, that person's a seamstress. They wouldn't be able to give us any referrals. Our seamstress that we used to have probably gave more referrals than anybody else in the chapter. So just keep an open mind. They all
it's not
have
about what business they do. It's about whether or not they understand the power of asking for business or asking what others need.
And who they know, and how many people they talk to every day, that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like what you're doing with the B&I, and I think it goes above and beyond what you covered several bases, or you did several forms of marketing, or touched several lives when you brought the massage therapist from your B&I group into your realtor office. You allowed her an opportunity. You gave her business that you're touching that person there, plus your two realtors, surprised and happy at the same time. That's a feeling that you created, that the feeling is much harder to forget than any words that you've said or anything that you could have put in an email. So it's really good.
You always tell us, it's not what we do, it's how we make people feel.
That's absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It was just fun. It got me out of the office for a couple hours, and it was great fun.
And that's the mindset that you have going into everything that you do. I think it was just fun. Notice that she said that about almost every question I've asked her about. Oh, it's just fun. I do it because it's just fun. So you do, and I've talked about the open house strategy to this group before that you do. Tell me about the open house strategy and what it's done for, how has it helped you with your business? Have you gotten loans directly from it? Tell me about the open house strategy that you use.
Well, again, it's just fun. If you're not busy on Sunday afternoon, it's a great way to spend your Sunday afternoon. It allows me to, and I didn't dream this up. I am not original, but I'm a great person at swipe and adapt. So I just take the stuff that we're taught, and then I go do it.
Absolutely.
So I have these little bags that I have a bottle of water and a package of tissues and some breath mints and some hand sanitizer and whatever else, maybe a snack or something. I have them in a file storage box, and I just load that box in my car, and I've got my map made out with the different hours and whatnot. It's usually somebody I'm trying to target, but anymore it's hard to tell because maybe the agent who has the listing didn't do the open house, but they have a new agent in their office who does it. But I go out, I make nice, I chit-chat. If I click with the person, I am going to arrange a different, like in a stacking kind of thing
Okay.
meeting. I get back in my car. I've got my note cards already in there. I write him a thank you note. I put a stamp on it, stick a $5 Starbucks gift card in there, and swing by the post office before I go home and mail them all. And then I call them up like 2 or 3 days later.
Perfect. That's exactly, that's a plan in place, guys. And James is asking, what are the ingredients you put in there? I think you do tissues and hand sandwich. So you've got a bottle of water.
The dollar store is your friend. Between the dollar store and Costco, that's all you need. So you
Right.
get the little teeny tiny things of hand sanitizer. I think I got them for $3 for $1.
I think that's what they cost at the dollar store these days, three
The
for a
same
dollar.
with the little package of tissues.
Okay.
I'll buy individually packaged snacks or breath mints at Costco. I get the water. I do a full-size bottle of water. I know a lot of people just use the short ones. And they're just brown lunch bags. They're nothing fancy.
How many
When I run
do you
out of my
put one
brown
or two cards in the bag?
too.
Two cards in the bag?
And when I I've got notepads. I put a notepad in
Okay.
there. It's got my caricature and all my contact information on it.
How did you got this printed up from a local print company or somewhere online?
Yes, a local ad specialties company, and I ordered thousands of them, so I'm never leaving this job while I still have notepads.
How much did that cost you?
It cost me about $700, but
Okay.
really, I can't remember how many. There's thousands. I am not anywhere even close to running out.
And what she's referring to is she has this little caricature of herself that she had done. It's really, really cute.
A guy in B&I did it.
Okay. There you go. Another benefit of B&I.
Right.
It's a really cool. It's definitely you, and it's a good brand, and that's kind of Peggy's brand on a lot of things that she does across the internet and email signatures and things like that. So it's recognizable for her.
It's like
So
my logo.
I like that. I think that's a really cool idea. I didn't know you had the little notepads with Peggy on them.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So you had kind of touched on it a little bit when you were talking about the open house strategy and that you try and set them up for stacking. Talk about stacking. Give us an example of what that looks like.
I absolutely love stacking, and I go to this really nice restaurant. It's a very high-end restaurant here, and I'll spend like $150 because I'll tip my server around $40, and I tip the host $10. I give him a list of everybody that's coming and tell him what they look like, and they treat me like a queen. And if I just go in there for maybe I want to go out with somebody for breakfast, totally not part of my stack, they bring me little coffee cakes and fruit plates and, oh, do you want to sample this? And they hug me, and it's wonderful. But so I set up appointments for 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, and 12:30. So basically I have 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches, a coffee, and a big take-home bag. And I call people that that I met at the open houses, or maybe I had an agent on a recent closing that I'd like to get to know better, or maybe sometimes I sandwich in B&I people in the 2 middle spots so that they can meet if it's somebody that I think would help a real estate agent. Could just be anybody. A strategy session for an agent I'm targeting. I picked up my top agent, who is responsible, by the way, for probably a third of my pipeline right now.
Oof.
And she got her roommate to start using me as well. I got a referral from a bank for a loan that they couldn't do. So I worked with the client. I met her. She was actually his agent. I met her at the closing, and I thought, well, she's kind of she's kind of cool. Let's get together with her. You wouldn't think on the surface of it that we have anything in common. She is far younger than I am. We're both a little type A, though. But she does the most amazing job referring me. She sends her clients emails and says, you got to talk to my mortgage lady. She hyperlinks my loan application, online loan application, sends them there, tells them to put in my name and her name, and send it to me. So today, I got a website application I haven't had time to look at yet.
Wow.
I had no idea where these people came from. It had to be from her.
Now, a couple of questions. The first question I have is when you talk about stacking, it's, people are gulping like, oh my gosh, 4 appointments in one day.
5. I do 5.
Or 5 sometimes. Do you find it difficult to get them to meet with you?
No.
When you pick up the phone and actually call them, is it hard to get them to show up to a meeting?
Absolutely not, because I'm taking them to the best restaurant in town.
That people recognize the name of.
Yep.
And yeah, it costs you $150. But a big key element is, and guys understand this, even at the best of restaurants, take care of the people that are taking care of you, and they will act as if you are the president.
They do too.
Actually, these days, probably better than the president.
They love me. And if either one of them, because I always make sure I have the same waitress, if her or the host ever buys a house, I know they will come to me.
Well, and anybody they meet or talk to, or their family, or their father says, your mom and I are buying a place, oh, you got to call a friend of mine.
Yeah.
I know this
I
lady,
give them
Dad.
my card every week.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Every time I go there. I don't do this every week.
And if James is asking, and yes, James, that it is the Michael Mayer meeting strategy, comes directly out of the 7 levels of communication, and that's, guys, if you head into under Chad's Corner, you've got the recommended reading list. There's a link. If you have not purchased or have not read that book, highly, highly recommended. Make it the next thing that you do. Don't have it finished by Sunday night. It is that good and that awesome of a book.
Easy read too.
It really is. It goes, books like that sometimes can have dull spots. This book, it keeps moving you through. You get a real understanding of how it kind of goes to what Alan Gross talks a lot about, is appreciation marketing. You always just continuously appreciate the things that are happening, and don't be afraid to ask for referrals, but always give thanks when you get the referrals, and always go down the line. And everybody that was a part of that referral, from the person that introduced you to the person who just introduced the person that introduced that referral to you. I mean, you have to do those things. It's good stuff, though. What day of the week do you go to that restaurant? Is there a specific day of the week that you choose, or just whatever works on your calendar?
I don't do Mondays, because Mondays are always super busy, and I want to be on the phone when I'm not talking to new deals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do Thursday because that's my B&I day. So Tuesday, Wednesday, probably not Tuesday, because a lot of our companies have their office meetings on Tuesday, so Wednesday or Friday. Okay. I think Friday's a fun day to start your weekend a little bit early.
I think people are a little more apt to do it on Friday, too, because they're thinking end of the week already, too. A nice, enjoyable lunch at a really sweet restaurant. Yeah, I'm all in. Sure, I'd love to meet with you.
Mm-hmm. And I've even had people drive a distance to come to me, too.
Hey, and I know from speaking with other loan officers I've worked with that implement this strategy, guys will drive. It's an hour and a half from Orlando to the Tampa area, and people will agents have driven it to meet with loan officers and just to have a nice lunch and sit down and talk. Something to do on a Friday. All right, what other networking strategies do you deploy? And I got to tell you, this is one of my favorite pictures. I was combing through getting this PowerPoint ready to go today, and this just exemplifies that happy-go-lucky, that smile on your face every time, all day, every day, that smile on your face attitude. I love it.
I go on trips with mortgage girlfriends, and this was on a trip we took to South Dakota. last summer. The summer before, we went to Maine, to the coast of Maine. It's just fun hanging out with my mortgage peeps.
And you know, the ladies group that you're part of, it's called the Mortgage Girlfriends, right?
Right.
And how many times a year do you meet up with them? Do you retreat with them? Is it twice a year?
Twice. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this year it was in, I think, tell me, did you say where this picture was taken?
That was in someplace, the Black Hills, South Dakota. So
Okay.
I flew into, I think, Sioux City, or Rapid City. And this was at a big lodge where we had eaten lunch the first day, and we just got silly in the gift shop.
and when you go to these retreats, what are some of the things that you guys do? I mean, does each of the ladies present something of what they're working on? How does that?
The one in June is just all fun, and if there's some sharing when we're all sitting around on our iPads or our laptops checking email while we're drinking coffee in the morning before the day starts. We'll talk about, well, how do you deal with this, or what do you do for that? So there's that more organic sharing. When we have the mastermind in October, that's more structured. Like, you're going to love this, Paul. I co-taught the using video in your mortgage business in October.
I like it. You know enough about it. You've been doing it long enough that and know enough about it that you can teach it. And with that confidence, start teaching it to agents.
I just offered to teach a Gmail class to agents at a meeting this morning.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Very good stuff. So there's a good exchange of that. Now, do you guys have, like, use each other in that group as accountability partners? Like, do you have a specific girlfriend that you call on a couple times a week? Hey, how you doing? Hey, you know, here's what I'm working on. I need you to hold me accountable on this.
As a matter of fact, after the October meeting, they divided us into groups, and I'm in a group of 3 that meets bi-weekly for just exactly that reason.
Perfect. I love it. I love it. It's a good, strong group, and I like that. That's something. How long have you been part of that group?
Oh, I don't know, 5, 6, 8, something like that years.
A little while.
A while.
A minute or two.
A minute or two, yeah.
So I know you are a big fan of using Google Drive in your business. Explain to us how you use Google Drive, like, in your everyday business.
Well, it's kind of funny because, you know, that top agent that I mentioned earlier?
Mm-hmm.
She sent me something and said, hey, I got this from another loan officer. I'd like it. And so I'm really good at swipe and adapt. So I set up the equivalent of a Word document in Google Drive called Mortgage Status. And every time I make a copy for every single transaction that I have. And when the appraisal appointment is scheduled, when we have the appraisal back, when we've received the title insurance, anytime anything changes, I just go to that form, I put the date in bold, and I highlight the whole line, and I email the collaborators.
Okay.
People know. Nobody ever has to call me to find out what's going on with their deal. They know. Listing agent knows. Selling agent knows. They know what's going on because I tell them. And it takes me like 10 seconds to do after my loan origination system sends me one of those automated emails.
And it's just a one-time. You update that thing one time, and you share it with everybody that's attached to it.
And then I just delete it after they close.
Perfect.
It's lickety-split, and they love it.
Keeps it nice and clean.
Mm-hmm.
I know you had mentioned you co-taught the video marketing class. I know that you do a lot of videos. What kind of videos are you doing, and how much time does that take you in your business?
Well, I would say in the past, I've been unfocused about it, and I've just done a little bit here and there. although I do have the property and casualty insurance agent from my BNI group. He and I have done a lot of tip of the week type things that we send to his database of, I think, around 2,000 people.
Tom Knopp or John Knopp?
Joe Knopp. Mm-hmm.
Joe Knopp. I knew
Yep.
it was something Knopp.
Yeah. I'm working, one of the projects I'm working on right now is to have a whole series of videos about the mortgage process. So I've done Meet My Team, I've done, okay, you're approved, what's that mean? Or pre-approved, you're pre-approved, what does that mean? My next one I'm going to do is the importance of getting a pre-approval, or what does that mean? But these are tips of the week that you're talking about now, and I have a newfound resolve to do that on a weekly basis. First one I did that I sent out to everybody in my whole system wasn't really a tip of the week. It talked about the new Fannie Mae rules that changed the timeline for foreclosures that were included in a bankruptcy.
Okay.
I got a guy who responded to that email. I have no idea how his name got in my database. I don't know where he came from, but I don't have anything anywhere else about the guy. He says, I'm writing an offer right now, and I'll be filling out an application. I thought, oh, great, another bad credit guy. The guy's buying for $300,000, putting 10% down, and has 800 credit scores.
Have you thought of the likelihood of that? That's fantastic, by the way. But boom,
I sent him that video.
boom. And I'm wondering, have you thought of the likelihood of one of the people that are on your regular list forwarding that to a friend, a family, or a coworker?
I usually ask them to do that.
Okay. And so that may be where this guy came to you from. Somebody said, hey, oh, I know Joe's looking to buy a house. Let me forward this over to him.
It leads that you get where you didn't know where they came from. Aren't those the best ever?
Oh, the freebies,
like
the ones that
bonus.
you're like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the more video that you do with the right kind of SEO, and it sounds like you've got Martin in place to be able to do that, the more and more of those you're going to get, and the better and better you're going to feel about it. So keep up that.
He's the one that has time, because I'll just go commando. I'll just do it. He is the one that has the time to figure out Microsoft Movie Maker and put the, I had an intro outro done on Fiverr, so he pastes those in.
You know what? I love the fact that your videos are more commando, just, you know, as you like to say it, because it's more personal. I get to see you talking to me. It's like we're having a conversation. You're just explaining something to me.
Bloopers and all.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like seeing it. So what are you currently working on implementing in your business?
So I mentioned the video project. I've got this whole list of videos that I'm doing. I am really resolved to do that tip of the week every week. I've only got 4 under my belt so far, but I know the importance of it, and I'm going to do it.
So when you say you've got 4 under your belt, what you're talking about doing is recording them several weeks in advance and having them just done and ready to go when you need them.
That one you just showed was the last one I had in the bank. I'm going to be doing one tomorrow that'll be sent out the following Wednesday.
Okay.
But I feel a little bit more secure if I have 1 or 2 done and ready to go.
Okay.
My next big project, well, I also just started using PipeDrive, and I've really got that up and running well. But my next big project is another one from another one of your classes where I'm going to do targeted Facebook ads, which I'm embarrassed to admit I've never run, not even one, for reverse mortgages.
Okay.
That's it's a niche product that I do and I'm good at.
Perfect. And so we're just complete transparency where Peggy's going to do that. She uses mortgage web success websites, and that's where you'll set your squeeze page up on there, correct, and have it filter into that CRM system.
I'm not going to set it up. Joe's going to set it up for me.
I was going to say, here's how you set that up with mortgage web success. Dear Joe, can you please set up a squeeze page all about reverse mortgages with this video on it?
He just did 2 really nice things like that for my tips for realtors and my tips for consumers. It's really awesomely slick. So yeah, you just send him the email, he does it.
If you guys, what is your channel name on YouTube?
Michigan Mortgage Pro.
Okay, so
yeah. MI for Michigan, Mortgage Pro.
On YouTube, you're just in the search bar on YouTube. If you'd like to check out some of her previous videos, and there's several of them on there, just go to in the search bar, type in MI Mortgage Pro, all one word, no spaces, letter M, letter I, Mortgage Pro, all one word.
It'll come up under my name too.
Oh, will it come up under Peggy Wilson also? So, or search Peggy Wilson, and you'll get to her videos. And yeah, there's 30 of them on there, isn't there?
I just made up playlists so I could organize them a little bit better.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
All right. What is the biggest? Oh, go ahead.
Wait a minute. I want to tell you one more good thing I do in my day.
Okay.
I can't remember which book this came from. It was one I read early on when I really seriously got involved in coaching. It's about having a daily success ritual. So I do the same thing every morning, which includes my meditation time, my reading something businessy or inspirational, and then exercising. And then I go to, and I don't look at my email or my Facebook or any of that stuff before I've done that.
You know, yeah, that's one of those things that we hear about doing it, and I'm the same way. I have a morning success ritual that I do every single morning, and if, without fail, I do not check the email first, even though it's connected to my phone. I see it up there, the little notification. I don't do it. I want to do something motivational and something that makes me smile, that gets my day started in a positive fashion first, and I love that you do that. I love that you do that.
Yeah, it just starts my day right.
I can't agree more. It
I
really does.
deserve that half hour, 40 minutes.
What time of day do you get up? Are you an early riser?
Oh, I'm ridiculously early riser.
Yeah, I'm a 5:30 guy myself.
Yeah, I'm still having a hard time adjusting to the time change. I get up really early. I conk out at 7:30 or 8 o'clock.
Yep. All right, so what is the biggest challenge in your business?
Right now, the biggest challenge I have is there's just not enough of me to go around for everything I want to do. So I just have to get my production up to the point that I can afford another assistant or earn another assistant.
Okay. And that leads us to the next question. What process or what do you have in place to get your production up to earn another assistant or to hire a person more full-time?
Well, I'm just trying to take all your wonderful advice and be very focused and streamlined. Well, like for example on my email. You've helped me set up so many filters, I don't see half the email I get. And I don't need to. So
you're one of the adults, they say, like you've heard me say it, 140, the average adult gets 147 emails a day. You've got to know how to be able to filter that stuff out and focus your time. I know one of the things that you work on a regular basis is time blocking.
I do. I was going to mention that. So the only way I can do more production is to delegate more and to be more efficient. The book I'm reading right now is very much about that. It's called Procrastinate on Purpose, but it has to do with filtering stuff and deciding what has the most significance, and that's what I work on. So I have committed to time block 3 different things in my week, and one is spending 3 hours calling realtors, doing an Active Rain blog, and doing the video.
I like it.
Choosing the script,
are
organizing
very high dollar activities.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm committed.
Okay. My clicker was not working. That is, Peggy, that's all the questions I've got for you. A couple of people are asking, you know, one of the things we want to avoid, there's, you know, everybody's definition of top producer is a little bit different. You know, 20 to 30 is not a top producer to me if they have no quality of life. You know, 10 can be a top producer if you've got the things in life, if you're achieving your why. So as far as production numbers, we tend to try and avoid that on these conversations. We want to talk about more about the things that are being implemented in the business that are giving you the results that you're pleased with, and you know, that's why we kind of end it with the question of what are you doing in your business? What are your challenges, and what would you, you know, what are you doing to fix those challenges? Which are the things that she just talked about. She'd like to increase her production, and to do that, she needs an assistant. But to get the assistant, she's got to increase her production. So there's a little bit of a conundrum there, so to speak, but that's something to work through, and that's something to practice at, and she knows with good time blocking and being able to do the three specific things that she mentioned. If she can focus on those three things and make sure that she's blocked out time to do it, she knows that those production numbers will get to where she wants them to be able to, you know, fix that challenge, regardless of
do the right stuff.
absolutely, regardless of if our challenge is to get to 30 loans or to get to 15 loans. You know, it doesn't matter what that challenge is. It's about implementers in this business. So, guys, girls, I want you, if you could do me a huge favor and head on over to the Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Mortgage Mastermind Group. And give Peggy a little bit of love for sharing her time and her expertise and sharing a little bit of the insight into her business for us. I know there was a lunch sacrifice made to be able to do this with us today. So I know that sandwich is calling your name. Peggy, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciated it. You know, I've been privileged enough to watch your business, you know, flourish. I've watched you have some struggles in your business. I've watched your business come back up to the level it is now, and I see it growing still. And I couldn't be more proud of the things that you do. And I'm excited to be part of helping you overcome that challenge of getting a little bit more freedom in your life.
Well, you know what? I am not working 40 or 12 hours a day anymore. I've quit doing that. My production is still good, so it's all working.
That's
I want to mention
awesome.
one more thing. Write handwritten notes. People love them, and not on your company note cards.
Go out to Walmart and buy some cute, plain, handwritten. Yeah, and one of the things you mentioned is you look for them everywhere you go. Like when you're traveling and you're, you know, going to Canada to visit the grandkids, or when you go to South Dakota, you're looking at the stationery that's available.
People like cute stuff. They'll put them on their desk.
They'll hold on to them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you again, Peggy. I can't say thank you enough. Guys, girls, again, please, if you get a chance, go and give a little bit of love to Peggy and thank her for sharing some of her time with us today. I hope we all got a little bit to all. Who do you send handwritten notes to?
Anybody. I send a lot to realtors, thanking them for business, thanking them after the closing. I send handwritten notes to my borrowers, to my anybody that refers somebody to me. I send them a handwritten note. If a client refers their friend to me, I send them a note.
Anybody that you can possibly get a handwritten note in front of you, any excuse for a handwritten note, you've got one.
Or if somebody that's done a great job at something,
you've heard me talk about it, Peggy. I firmly believe in the handwritten note. It's, you know, I hate to kind of make it sound like this, but it's making a comeback. Is that the right way to say it? Because email. I don't want it to sound like email has run its course, because it really hasn't. Email has a place in our marketing. It has a place in what we're doing with our everyday marketing. It really, really does.
I would say that.
But you want to stand out, put it in their mailbox.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So few people do it. It really stands out when you do. Now, look, just how many handwritten notes have you received?
Oh,
You know, you really value the ones that you get.
You really do. It makes you feel there. And why is it? Because it elicits a feeling as opposed to just something you say. It elicits a feeling. Same reason video works. It elicits a feeling.
Right.
So 3 hours a week you spend calling on realtors. Are these existing realtors or new realtors?
Both.
Both. Do you have a set number?
It takes
or
me
do you,
about three. I don't quit until I've talked to at least 10 people.
That's your number. It's not about a number of dials. It's about a number of people you talk to.
Right, and then I'll end up talking to more because some more people call me back. But I won't quit until I've talked to 10.
I like it. I like it.
I just use your script.
Do you really?
How was your weekend? What'd you do? Did you play or did you work?
It was a fun weekend. Awesome. What'd you do?
Yeah.
You worked. Oh, great. Is there anyone you met that I can get mortgage ready for you?
That's it. That's
nice.
it.
I love it.
We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just do it. Do what we learn.
You know what? That's the main thing is just if you see somebody that's doing what you want to be doing, do what they're doing consistently, and it will work for you too. It absolutely will work for you too.
Word, the consistency.
It truly is. That with any marketing that you do, anything that you do, you've got to be consistent. And if you are consistent, whether it's helping people get what they want, or it's picking up the phone and dialing over and over again, whatever it is, it will work for you. You just got to be consistent. Peggy, I love you.
Love you too, Paul.
Awesome stuff today. Go enjoy your lunch now. I appreciate you so much spending the time with us. Guys, girls, thank you again for spending your Friday with us. We know you could be anywhere, and you chose to hang out with us today, so we do appreciate that. Go over to the facebook.com/Mortgage Mastermind group and give a little love to Peggy and thank her for sharing with us. We will see you guys right back here, same time, same channel next week. Have a great weekend, everybody. Be safe.